Good evening, children of Father Michael Gates. We've been cooking a lot with eggs. We've poached eggs, we've made omelets. Today we're going to use something completely different. We're going to make a dressing with eggs. We're going to use it as an emulsifier. And what an emulsifier means is that we're going to do the impossible. We're going to mix two liquids and bind them together that normally don't really go together. We're going to mix oil, water, vinegar and lemon juice. And in order to bind these ingredients, we're going to use an egg. Actually, we're going to just use the egg yolk. If you zoom in over here, you see I have three different eggs. I have a large, a medium and a small egg. You guys remember what type of egg do we use in cooking? Always a medium egg, unless differently specified in the recipe. And this time it's actually the large egg that we're going to be using. Remember, we're going to be using the 3-bowl method. We're going to split this egg and we're going to have the egg yolk just in that big bowl over there. We're going to crack it in the pot. We're going to get rid of all the egg white while we're breaking it open. We're going to jiggle it. We're not using the funny bottle method. We're going to get as much of the egg white out of there. We're going to dispose of our shells in there. I'm going to put the egg in there, and that's our 3-bowl method. As you can see, we just got nice pure egg whites. We got the shells on that side, and we'll get rid of those from now on. And we did a little check on our egg yolk, and we see there's no shells in it. Next thing we need for our recipe is some Dijon mustard. First, we want to make sure it's good. Pretty good. Pretty sharp. We need about 1/4 teaspoon. I'm going to mix it right in there. And we're also going to need about 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice. Woo! Best way to get the lemon juice out of a lemon, you have a little strainer, put it over a bowl, you grab the lemon. You just roll it with the palm of your hand. It kind of loosens up the lemon in the middle. You have a knife, put the knife down, grab the lemon, squeeze the juice, gently add it through, using a little strainer so all the pulp and the seeds stay behind. We're going to get rid of that lemon, put it on the side. Ooh, gotta have a little drink while I'm cooking. Get rid of the lemon, and I need about 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. I'm going to put that on the side. Using my measuring utensils, I'm going to get 1 teaspoon, add it to the yolks, get rid of that stuff. Need about 1 teaspoon of white vinegar, add it to the vinegar, and we're just going to loosely start whisking that around. We'll make this like a nice mixture where all the mustard, vinegar and lemon juice is incorporated together. What we're going to do next is we are going to pour the olive oil very gently, little bit by little bit, into our bowl, just kind of a drop at a time. Generally, when you do this with 2 people, you have 1 person holding the bowl, the other person pours the oil, but since it's just me in the kitchen, I'm going to use a little saucepan. I'm going to put a cloth in there. I'm going to put my bowl in there. Like this, I can keep stirring my bowl around and get the oil incorporated. So if my lovely assistant can focus on the inside of this bowl, I'm going to show you how to add the oil to the yolk of spread. You have my oil, 3/4 of a cup or 175 ml. I'm going to very gently whisk this, always turn the right way into my egg mixture, and every time I put a little bit of oil in there, I'm going to make sure I gently incorporate this all the way. This way I can emulsify the yolks and the oil. Obviously, when you're making a recipe based on raw uncooked yolks, we would never just serve this to kids, sick people or the elderly, because we are going to be dealing with potential food poisoning. For young healthy people, it's not a problem at all to use it. probably take a few minutes. As you can see, we go really slowly, a little bit of oil at a time, and all we do is we just keep whisking until this completely incorporates. If we would go too quick, pour too much oil at a time in there, we're gonna have a split mayonnaise. The only way you can kind of recover from a split mayonnaise, you slowly add a little bit of warm water to the mixture and keep stirring, and then just potentially add another yolk in there or a little bit more oil. It's a really finicky process, and especially in the beginning you're gonna have to be very gentle until you get about to this point where you see the mixture slowly start to thicken. You can see at the edges here we're gonna have, it's a little bit thicker than normal, and now I can speed up the process just a little bit more, go a little bit quicker. I keep stirring, a little bit more oil, keep stirring, and you can slowly see this becoming nice and thick. And when you look at this type of mayonnaise I'm making, you can see it's fairly light in color. As per usual, we're using a nice vegetable oil. The color of the mayonnaise that you're going to be making often just depends on what type of mustard you use. You use dried mustard powder, which will be really yellow, the French mustard, which will be really yellow, or this one you have like a nice blend of the Dijon mustard. This would make it really nice and light, just like a real mayonnaise what you would buy from Hellmann's. See, we've been at this for a while, and we've only used like half our oil into our mixture, and now we can go a little bit faster. You can slowly see this mayonnaise really thickening up now. You can pour a little bit more, and as you can see while I'm stirring, I'm just using my wrist and my fingers in order to stir this around. If my lovely assistant would come a little bit closer and take another look in the bowl, you can actually see how this mayonnaise is really starting to thicken up and come together here. A little bit of oil, and in just about another 30 seconds, this is going to look exactly like you would find in a Hellmann's mayonnaise. Last little bit of oil. You can go a little bit faster now. And here we go, a nice thick mayonnaise, just like something you would use in a dressing, a Caesar's dressing, or obviously as the Dutch like to do on our French fries. We're going to put a little bit of salt in there for seasoning. We're going to stir that around. And there you go, we just made mayonnaise, emulsified dressing, based on wax all by itself. And now when I go to the sink, quickly wash my hands. A little bit of soap. And obviously I have to dry my hands on my apron. I'm going to be using my spoon. That's pretty good. Thank you very much. I hope you'll enjoy making your own first mayonnaise today yourself.